Hey everyone, it's Jason from EskimoTV.net, and today I'm going to be reviewing silver ticket projection screens. If you prefer to read my review, you can go check it out over at EskimoTV.net. I recently had the pleasure of exploring the diverse range of projection screen materials offered by Silver Ticket products, and the experience has been nothing short of enlightening. To kickstart our journey into finding the perfect screen that would be paired with our Epson Home Cinema 3800, we ordered Silver Ticket's sample kit, which includes 10 8x10 sheets of various materials. Before delving into the specifics, I highly recommend others to invest in this sample kit, as it proved to be significantly important in determining the ideal material for our unique lighting circumstances. Our primary goal was to find a 110-inch screen suitable for a room with mostly controlled lighting. As you can see, this room here, it has two windows, but they do have blinds. I do have blackout curtains. I, for the most part, can make this room pitch black. Despite the prevailing advice favoring white materials in controlled lighting environments, we were keen on exploring darker colored materials to gauge their impact on the image projection, specifically contrast. The materials that initially caught our attention that we were the most eager to compare and test were the white, gray, and high contrast options, amongst others. The high contrast material, which I would say I was the most eager initially to test, while delivering exceptional contrast and deep blacks, unfortunately for our lighting conditions at least, sacrificed vibrancy and colors. In a dark environment, the loss of color was a deal breaker for us. On the other hand, the white material excelled in color vibrancy, but it lacked any contrast. It looked like there was a thin white tint over the image, particularly in darker scenes. It became evident that our preferences would lay somewhere between, leading us to the gray material. The gray material struck a perfect balance, offering vibrant colors and a middle ground contrast that proved most pleasing for our lighting situation. Priced at $299 for a 110-inch screen on Amazon, it's presented a minimal cost difference compared to the $259 white material. The added contrast offered by the gray material justifies the slight increase in price. The high contrast material is a little bit more expensive. It's over $400, and I don't think that it is going to be quite worth it, considering you do lose a lot of color. Once again, everyone's lighting situation is different, but that was the case in our lighting circumstances. However, if contrast isn't a priority and vibrant colors specifically are, the white material could be a suitable alternative. Colors do truly pop on that material. However, I did choose to order a material that's called 2GS material, and that is the screen you see on my setup here in this video. It is a slightly different light gray material. The 2GS was extremely similar to the gray material, but it was a little softer to the touch, gray on both the front and the back, whereas the gray material is gray on the front and black on the back. These two screens were incredibly similar, that if you are paying for these screens, I would advise most, if they have, once again, similar lighting situation as mine, to get the gray material. It's $299 in comparison to the 2GS's heftier $459 price tag, and they looked virtually the same as the gray material. Silver Ticket allowed me to choose a screen to showcase and review. Since I had the freedom to choose, I minusculely like the 2GS material a hair more for all the reasons I previously mentioned, but I would say if I was paying, I would advise most with these lighting conditions to go with the gray material. It's a perfect balance. The 2GS material that I have here is normally $459. However, if you see it on a sale, you can select the screen, as I am extremely satisfied with it. There's another material called 2GP. It is the same as the 2GS that you see here, except it is perforated, so if someone has speakers behind a screen, they can get the 2GP material that will allow sound to travel through that material. The 2GP is actually the initial material that caught my interest upon testing, but I was informed that if I don't have speakers behind my screen, to opt for the 2GS that once again you see here. So the second day of testing, I put the 2GS and that gray material side by side. Since I was allowed to choose whichever screen I wanted for this review video, I went with the slightly more premium screen as it felt nicer to the touch, and I almost had to convince myself it looked a hair better after looking at various film clips for hours. I was testing this for quite a long time, different film clips. But once again, if I had to pay for a screen in these lighting conditions, I believe that the gray will have most people extremely satisfied. Once again, if you have similar lighting circumstances as mine. If your lighting is more out of control, maybe you have the sun peeking in, you may want to go for a darker high contrast material. It's important to note that the installation of the silver ticket projection screen, this one you see behind us, took us approximately 2 hours and 15 minutes. We started about 4 p.m. and finished around 6:15 p.m. From that time, someone else and I diligently followed the instructions, starting from pulling it out of the box. This duration was notably longer than Silver Screen Ticket's reported 17-minute installation time, which is likely the time for a super fast professional that has a lot of experience. One of the most challenging aspects of the installation was inserting white rods through multiple tiny holes. This process required patience and meticulous attention to detail as we crinkled the material to try to fit the rods through each of these tiny holes. Another strenuous part involved putting a support bar into the back due to it just being a very tight fit. Additionally, having a stud finder and being comfortable with drilling and hammering into the wall is crucial. While I admit I'm not particularly handy, having someone assist made the process smoother. For those less inclined to tackle such tasks, professional local installers here in the Houston, Texas area typically charge between $200 to $275. If, like me, you're not confident in assembly skills and you don't have someone else to help you, consider hiring someone for a stress-free installation. There were a few moments we were stressed out while installing this. However, they do provide clear instructions, and if you are handy, it certainly is doable. We did it. In conclusion, Silver Ticket Projection Screens offers exceptional quality at an affordable price. That sample kit, priced at $8 post shipping, is a small investment that can make a significant impact on your final decision. I urge potential buyers to order the kit and test multiple materials to find what suits their preferences and lighting conditions best. While I personally chose the 2GS for its subtle advantages and I liked it just a hair more than the gray, the overall variety and affordability of these Silver Ticket screens makes them a top-notch choice in the market. Get this sample kit, put them on your wall, you can just tape them and you can see which one is going to work best. We're all different. Some people might favor color over contrast, or you might just like the way one looks more than the other. Everyone's room is different. So once again, I urge you to get that sample kit. For me, this 2GS material was awesome. I think it's very similar to that gray, which is at retail price a bit cheaper. And I think if you have similar lighting conditions as me, you'll be very satisfied with that. And so that is gonna do it, y'all. Those are my thoughts on the Silver Ticket products, their projection screens. I think it is a wonderful buy. I'll leave the link to their website in the description of this video and perhaps as a pinned comment. If you enjoyed this review and you found it insightful, please smash that like button. You can also consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see home entertainment news in your feed. You can also consider checking out my website, EskimoTV.net. That's where you can read this review and you can find other reviews from myself as well as other authors. Thank you all so much for checking this out. Until next time, my name is Jason Escamilla from EskimoTV.net.